everything that you're here to do, everything that you're trying to focus on, your goals and your aspirations and your dreams, is possible. And he goes into this thing where he says there's winners, there's losers, and there's people that haven't learned how to win yet. Mm-hmm. Right? And he tells a story how in 1954, prior to that date, they thought it was impossible to run a 4-minute mile. It seemed impossible. It's not possible, right? But then in April of 1954, the first person ran that 4-minute mile. 2 years later, 37 people had ran that same 4-minute mile. Years later after that, thousands of people have done that. What was the difference? Right? Mentality. Understanding that it's completely possible.
It's almost as if bringing up the idea that it was impossible is exactly what made it possible.
Absolutely.
Right. And so, understanding and having the belief, and this even included high schoolers that ran this 4-minute mile. And so
I'm pretty sure I could do that.
Right. I think I could too. But understanding the potential that you have and understanding that everything that you want in life, your goals, your visions, your dreams, your aspirations are possible, right? We all have untapped potential that we haven't tapped into yet, right? And the difference between the people that didn't run it before and the people that run it now was them understanding that they have that untapped potential inside of them. Mm-hmm. Everyone has a desired dream, a desired goal, a desired vision. And it all, accomplishing that vision and that dream starts with what you believe. Mm-hmm. It starts in where your mentality is. We talk about this business, it's 99% mentality. It's almost 100% mentality. What we do is not hard, right? It's keeping ourselves in check. It's keeping our mentality in the right place that allows us to succeed or fail.
Precisely, and they're we talked about it that day in Waffle House. At the end of the day, it's, while we obviously should be, going through these steps, the products are no more than examples of what we're capable of ourselves down the line once it comes to the point where, we are opening up our own business and we are running that type of stuff. It's literally a reflection of that at all times.
And not only that, but one of the key things, I was just on an interview and we were just talking about this. One of the key things to that is surrounding yourself with the right type of people, right? You have to surround yourself with positive people. That's why our atmosphere in this office has to be that, right? Because we're all in this thing to run our own business. We're all trying to get to that seat. We're all trying to get to our own office. And if we're not surrounding ourselves with those positive people, then we're going to get necked out ourselves. Mm-hmm. You have to surround yourself with people who can see it for you, right? Because if they don't see it for you, it'll be, Eric, man, you can't do that, man. Well, he can do it, but yeah, man, you probably couldn't do that. You probably couldn't run 3 offices. Nah. Even if the person sitting right here can do it, even if the person sitting right here is doing, there are still people that will look at you and don't see it in you and will tell you, hey, yeah, you probably can't do it. They're different, right? And so we have to surround ourselves with people that can see it, that'll tell you, even if they don't see it, that'll tell you, yo, you can do this. You got this. You can do it because they did it, right?
Precisely.
And so we have to program our mind. We have to focus. We have to understand that if we're not programming ourselves, life will program us. People around you will then tell you who you are and what you can be and what you can't be. So we have to program ourselves. We have to constantly be listening and fueling ourselves with the right type of thing, keeping ourselves around the right type of people, so we determine who we are. We're ultimately in control of our life and our destiny. You got to have an agenda for your life. It's necessary that you have an agenda. It's necessary that you have a direction of where you're going versus where you've been. You know that he asked this question. He said, where have you been, where are you going, and why are you here? Where have you been, where are you going, and why are you here? Where have you been? What were you doing before this? What have your past experiences shown you? Were you doing something you hated? Were you in a place where you weren't happy?
Were you learning?
Right. Where have you been? Where are you going? Where's your goals? What's your agenda? Right? What are you trying to get to? If you're here and you're just saying, man, well, I'm just here, whatever, you're not going anywhere, and chances are you're going to see everybody else get promoted out and get out of that door, and you're going to still be stuck here. Why? Because they understood where they're going, right? And why are you here? And that kind of plays exactly into it. Why are you here? There are dreams and visions that each one of you have that nobody else has, right? There are goals and there are things specifically that God gave you, that God gave you, that God gave you, that God gave me, that are just for me to be out and act on. To unlock my potential, to unlock everything inside of me that I didn't even know was there, right? And so if Eric writes a poem and he's, he passes away trying to finish this poem, I can't go finish that because I don't have that thought. If he was writing a business plan, I won't be able to finish it because I didn't have that vision. That wasn't for me. That was for Eric, right? And so we gotta understand where we've been, where we're going, and why we're here. And we have to test ourselves to see what other abilities we have. Be multi-talented, be multi-skilled. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, or be complacent, understanding or thinking that this is the only place I'm going, or I'm just in this lane, right? There's so much more to each and every one of us that we have in store. There's more we can do, right? I didn't want to just do one thing or be settled playing music. I want to own a music production company. I want to do contracts with Netflix and run their original series. I want to do way more than just play music. And if I got stuck just saying I'm playing music, there's hundreds of other things or people's lives that I could have impacted or things I could have done that I would have never tapped into.
And having those multiple talents, like there are people that are also multi-talented that just might share similar talents. I think it's infinite networking at the end of the day.
And my original plan when I was young, I was trying to go to the NFL. I never even wanted to do music, but I've traveled across the world doing music. I play in front of millions of people doing that. I've connected and networking with people that I never would have thought I would have met because of that. Now imagine if I would have stuck with, I'm a football player. Yeah, I just play football. And I used to hate when people used to say that to me, oh, you're a football player. No, I'm not. Because that labels me as one thing. I'm not. I can do a million things. I used to call myself an athlete, not in the fact of I can play any sport, but I can do. Athletes are people who can do multiple different things or sports decent. That's what I consider an athlete. If you can do multiple things, you're coordinated, you can do multiple things decent, right? A football player can play football. That's how I look at it.
You literally you gave me like a similar analogy of like an author or like a screenplay writer. There, that all falls under the category of writer. A writer is somebody who is exemplary in all of those categories, whether it be writing a novel or a short story, a poem.
Right.
Bam,
same thing. Same thing.
From the mind to the body. You see what I did?
Yeah. And so that's my thing. Never put yourself in a position where you have a limited dream, limited vision, or limited goal, or a limited use of your potential or your abilities. Juice?
Juice.
Juice.
Juice.